Good morning, Bardar, bonjour everybody. It's been ages since I've done a video, what with COVID and the winter. I was hoping to do a Normandy part 2 video, but again with COVID and all the restrictions in France, I've decided to knock that on the head, at least for a while. But this weekend we got a nice forecast, lots of sunshine. So what I thought I'd do is ride down to the Sammy Miller Museum, which is near Bournemouth on the south coast of England. Also the town Christchurch. It's in a place called New Milton. And if you don't know Sammy Miller, if you're watching from another country, he's a legendary British motorcyclist and he's got an amazing museum down there by all accounts. So I'm heading off Sunday, spending the night in Bournemouth and then going to the museum on Monday. The route I've decided to take, I'm going from West Wales, is down the M4, get off the motorway at Bath, and then when I get to Bath, instead of going through the city itself, you turn left at the bottom of the dual carriageway, you come off the motorway, and go down the A350 through Bradford-on-Avon and Trowbridge, and then follow the A350 down towards Bournemouth. It's a straight line and it's not a motorway. So I've got the bike packed up. Let me just spin the camera around and show you. See, I've got my Oxford throw-over panniers, just got well, spare pair of clothes for the night, and my top box which has got all my crap in basically for emergencies, things like tyre repair kits, a foot pump and all the rest of it. And I tend not to, I have got a sat nav, but I tend not to use it. That's my little dodge. I've got a little bag, 4 magnets in the corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I write down my routes on the little bit of paper, which personally I find much better than a sat nav that's, I don't know, they just never take you the right way. I'd rather be a map. Anyway, I shall leave you there, and I'll see you later when I'm on my way. Bye-bye. Well, good morning everybody. I set off from home about 7:30. I've just done about 110 miles and I've stopped in Bradford-on-Avon. I've only passed through Bradford-on-Avon on the train when I was going to work once on the south coast, but it's a really pretty old village made of Bath stone, same sort of colour stone as Bath. I'll give you a little look now. I'll just swirl the camera around and you can see this, quite hilly, but lots of pretty houses, and it's got a bridge. This town could be traced back to Roman times, and on the end of the bridge, I don't know if you can make it out there, there's a domed structure which used to be the town lockup for troublemakers. And even though it's an old town, it's actually the headquarters of Moulton Bicycles, if you remember them. I think he started back in the 60s. They're small wheel bikes with independent suspension on them. So I'm just exercising my numb bum, and I shall set off on my way. The bike's doing well, it's averaging around 66 to the gallon. There you are, there she is. And I've just stopped in the little short-term pay and display car park, and I'm not going to pay. I'm just going to get on my way now. Catch you in a bit. Ta-da! Oh, good morning everybody. It's Monday today. I had a pretty uneventful ride down yesterday. I came down the A350 through Bradford-on-Avon, which is particularly pretty, but to be honest the roads aren't as good as the Welsh roads, but it's a means to get somewhere. Spent last night in the Travelodge in Bournemouth on Christchurch Road. I'd recommend that. It's simple, and if you don't go on the weekend the prices are dirt cheap. I paid just £31 for the room, and it's also got an underground car park which cost £4 a night, which is well worth it because I felt the bike was pretty secure down there. So I've got to the museum. It opens at 10 o'clock, it's now 9:30, and I've been riding around the New Forest excuse me, for the last hour, just sort of finding my bearings, because unfortunately they've closed a lot of the roads here and all over the place. So I don't usually use a sat nav, but I have to be honest, it really got me out the shit today. I love the New Forest, one of my favourite places. I think I was just turned 18, and my mate taught me to do handbrake turns on a disused airfield, yeah. So, got a soft spot for it. So I've got about 20 minutes to kill before the museum opens, and then hopefully I'll be able to take some films in there, or at least some stills of the bikes. I'm particularly keen to see one called an AJS Porcupine. One last year, so that'll be 2021, sold at auction for a whopping £300,000. And I think there's only something like 6 of them in existence, and one of them is here. Anyway, I'll catch you in a bit. Well, if you're a fan of Bill Hicks, I really can't help myself. Oh, hello, goat boy. What lovely eyes you've got. Ha, 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 ha. Now, if you don't know Bill Hicks, I suggest you look him up, because the guy was a comic genius, sadly no longer with us. And this is the museum. It's surrounded by nice fields. This is the outside, the car park, and there are animals all around, which are great if you've got little kids, or if you're a big kid like me, because I do like animals. There's alpacas here, but they don't seem to be out yet. I think they must be kept elsewhere. Sadly, no videoing is allowed in the museum because they sell videos, but you can see there's an extensive collection of some really weird and wonderful machines. Not just British, there's a few others. I saw a couple of motor guzzies there, some Japanese bikes, but mostly British, and it seems that back in the day, every town and village had some factory that made motorbikes. And this is the Royal Enfield, the AJS Porcupine, and last year one sold for £300,000, which is pretty impressive. Well, that's it, the museum trip's over. It takes around 2 hours to see all the bikes. There's, I think, 470 bikes there in total. Some fascinating pieces, and the thing that always amazes me, nothing's new under the sun. Remember a few years ago Harley Davidson introduced Kevlar belts. Well, before that people were using leather chains in effect. I also saw a bike that had used the frame as a fuel tank. Well, my first moped did that back in '76, but the bike here was 1911, so nothing new under the sun. Really worth visiting. I met the great Sammy Miller twice and exchanged a few words with him. The bloke is actually here with his overalls on, working in the workshop, restoring bikes. Massive respect to him. Anyway, I'm just about to get back to my bike now, get all my kit on, and then shoot back to South Wales. Catch you soon. Ta-da.